I had one student who started in 1985 who was 12 when he started, and sort of grew up through our programs, and ended up the last 3 years actually teaching the class himself, and is still practicing doing you know he was a tagger, graffiti artist, and then into spray can mural art, and getting his name up, feeling the same way that has been expressed, uh, wanting to have a voice in the society, wanting to communicate, and so we were dealing with kids who we shared that feeling, and they weren't, if they showed any signs of that in school, they even just having a marker or a paint marker or any kind of a marker, they could be expelled from school, which I find incredulous, because this is a writing tool. And if they call themselves, I mean, it seems to me like they should be encouraging this rather than discouraging it, because the kids really want to write, and express themselves, and that they should really allow that to happen. And in a it's freedom of expression. And you see this creative urge in all of our youth that's natural to everyone. It's part of our spirituality, which is being denied. And there's no place for it. Like we were just talking about, there's a whole generation of youth that don't even have any contact with art, and that's really scary for me to see as well. And I feel that because very much so, even as a muralist, in a traditional sense. The reason I paint murals outside is because it makes art accessible to everyone, where there would be none at all. Most people, the masses of people, don't have an opportunity to go to museums or galleries, and share that part of life. If they come in contact with it through a family member or something like that, or that's great, but they don't always think of it as art. Maybe it's, oh, my uncle or somebody has a hobby doing this or doing that, but they never think of it, or not participating in it. But we, even as traditional muralists, have a hard time even getting a wall, to get consent to do work on the exterior of buildings, and it's even more difficult for the youth to get a wall that they can actually express themselves on in a free way. So I'm hopeful that somehow this, the programs here can inspire youth to, find their own individuality through their, wanting to learn how to paint and draw, develop their writing styles, develop their characters, and begin to take it seriously, and find that it really is something meaningful, and that they can, that they are artists. There is the artist inside of them, and it can be useful, and can be, actually you can make a living at it, I mean, there's all kinds of great new tools that are being innovated now as we speak, that the future, these are our future artists who are going to be exploring those new mediums, and if they start to take this thing seriously, what they're doing individually, they have that potential. So we try to encourage that part of the individual, and also getting youth to work together, to collaborate with each other, because I think it's really important to share that, and to share that experience, perform that outside, like we discussed too, so that it's not a mystery to people, that it really does use all the same tools that any other art form does. And it takes just as much skill and effort and hard work as anything else that anyone else does, and just to make it much more accessible. And I don't know. That's some of the reasons why I carry it on. It's very discouraging to me to find that they don't accept this in schools. If you want to get it, they only have one school of the art, high school. They do not accept any student that has any kind of look of graffiti art, even if it's abstracted. They would not be accepted in the school.